Welcome, man.
I'm good, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Hey, Kichi, miss you.
Hey, Kichi, how you doing? Yeah, big love, man.
Right, so the easy thing is land later.
Oh, no,
No, she's running late. Also, the saxophone. She's still fine. The keyboard and stuff.
Yeah, so
when is the performance?
The performance is okay because it's gonna happen after 8:30.
Okay.
So normally it's just conversation.
Let's do that, then I'll go up.
Oh, you're told.
Yeah, Ngiland, the master's
Oh, okay. Oh, Zela Panemiam.
Semotwe.
Oh, Semotwe.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I spot so later. Yeah, so later. The performance is on 20 to 8. So maybe that's 20 to 9. Oh, sorry, 20 to 9.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
So that's 30 look out and so half past so.
Right, okay.
So that 10 minutes will be enough.
It will be enough. I'm just fetching a keyboard and some microphones.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, are we gonna use these?
No, we're gonna use that one. There's a mic there.
Yeah, I think that's
stand there.
Maybe I should bring one more for the saxophone. I have one in the car. All right.
We might need a little bit because we might need to sign them in. Like, will we?
Okay.
Oh, sign them in. Yeah.
So we might have to go slightly before.
Okay.
Let me go. I'll go upstairs with security and just check. All right.
Because I could always hand in the car keys. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's in a bag. If someone can help.
Yeah, I'll go up and ask them.
Okay.
Would you like a bottle of water?
Please.
Let's go. I think yeah, I think that's the only place things
Doctor, can you sit here?
Oh, thank you so much. So my friend is trying to come through. The saxophone player is gonna be beautiful.
Ah, that's fine. Oh, I missed your show last night. The wife was not up to it.
Oh man, I understand.
I would have loved to.
Man,
no problem. It should work. It should work out. Thank you so much.
I know business.
No. So we've had great conversations without this. Yeah, please. No, yeah. Okay, but I would say
yeah, that's nice. Plus, isn't it right to go to the audience here together?
Right, they know
audience 25 to 49-year-olds. So
right,
audience.
Right.
It's a bit of an older audience, sure. She's our producer.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so
She's
much.
the boss. Don't you want to join the convo?
Wow,
that'll be nice.
Yeah,
that'll be nice, yeah.
Today,
just to get a female voice.
After the introductions and everything, please let's still do it together.
Is it?
Okay. But after the conversation.
Okay, cool. All right, no problem. Songs as well that have been a part of inspiring you in your journey. You know, we've also included Ingoba Mama Busimhlongo yaphela imali yami.
Right.
Uthandiswa ijikijela Zimngqawane ebhofolo.
Okay.
Obviously and then ingoma yakhe Senze Nina.
Yeah.
Senze Nina.
So the new album is it there? Cause that's like the focus.
Yeah, where's the new songs? You remember the new songs that are
yeah, that's the focus.
He did not put them. He did not upload them.
How many songs are there?
I mean, you can even upload one for this.
I gave him that whole album.
He did not. He did not upload. Please ask him.
Let's just upload maybe Omnyama, just one song. Omnyama, yeah. It's number one. It's number one.
It's Omnyama Nandi. Maybe give us 2 options.
3. I just one.
Is that fine?
Yeah, because I don't want them to get frustrated.
Oh, okay, so we focus on one. Okay.
Yeah, but also just for the people to hear the new album.
Oh yeah. And then on top of that, ngizoyenza futhi ukuthi nasilobele siqoqe ikhale ku background.
Amazing.
And then now performer futhi ke ungaziperforma lezi
ezinye.
Yeah, phuma ku.
How long is the performance?
20 minutes.
Perfect. Yeah, so that'll maybe like 3 songs.
Yeah, maybe about 3 songs. Yeah. That'll be nice. Yeah. And then, but what's nice is not only also that's also value.
Beautiful.
But what's also beautiful is also the content. So and the next I'll also share with you from Zoko. Nokubonga mina. Thank you for this partnership.
Thank you so much.
Asingene ama-headphone wakho uzosebenzisela. Are there any better cans?
It's okay.
Are they okay?
I'll be good. Maybe I'm not gonna need them actually.
Just UDUZO music.
Oh, the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have another live rig now?
No, it's here.
Go in. You're going to shine mic so.
Yeah.
He's an internationally acclaimed pianist, a composer, healer, and philosopher. He has released his third album with Blue Note, and it's called Nomkhubulwane. But in total, I think he's got about 8 albums. I stand to be corrected. He'll correct me in a moment. The Transcendent 3-movement suite pays homage to the Zulu goddess Unomkhubulwane and features MAKHATHINI's trio with bassist Uzwelake Duma, Belle Lepere, and drummer Francisco Mella. We're speaking to an international musician here, ladies and gentlemen. Thokoza mkhulu.
Thokozani Makhehla makwande.
Siyabonga ukuthi uzosivakashela namhlanje.
Bonga mina, ngijabule kakhulu.
We appreciate your time and we are humbled with your blessing us with your presence. Mhlambe
Right.
for abangakwazi, who is Dr. NDUDUZO MAKHATHINI?
Oh yes, I hail from Pietermaritzburg. Ngizalelwe eMbubu. Ngakhulela eMaqonqo, and I come from a very musical family. My mother is a musician. She's still around. So I was brought up in this music thing, and I decided to go do my undergraduate studies at UKZN in 2001. And that's when I met Babu Pegimsele, Umambusi Mhlongo. And when I graduated, I went to Joburg. That's when I kind of played with everyone, and the scene was very exciting at the time. I got to play with Babu CAMILLE, Oliver Mdukuzi, Lebu Matosa, and a lot of other people. And from there I went to Stellenbosch, did my master's and PhD. So that's really been the journey. I'm currently teaching at UKZN and touring as well with my group and promoting the new album.
Congratulations with number 1 with the new title Udokotela.
Siyabonga.
No muhle umsebenzi, siyabonga kakhulu.
Bonga thina.
And how has that teaching journey been, or lecturing?
Right. Well, I think it really came from frustrations that exist within the university for black kind of emerging scholars or for black thinkers, and the ways in which both curriculum and the systems are kind of unaware of the worlds that we live in. So there is a kind of sense in which in order to come into this space, you kind of have to forget something about yourself to tap into something else. And being frustrated by the ways in which, as a music student, my early influences that came from like indigenous music and kind of rural influences were not kind of acknowledged by curriculum that deemed me as someone who didn't have music literacy. And so grappling with those things for 4 years, I decided to stick around in the university for future generations, to kind of be in the university and so much against the university in what they would call the quote-unquote decolonial scholarship that seeks to really produce new centers and decenter this Western hegemony and Western notion of curriculum, and think about what is knowledge in our own terms, this embodied knowledge, into sisifundiso emakhaya. what is there a space and a place for that in curriculum. So that's basically the thing. So I've been teaching since 2005. I taught at VETS for many years, taught at Forte for many years, and UKZN. Kind of sticking around, until I get fired every other time. And if I don't get fired, I kind of panic because it means maybe my work is not robust enough, it's not transformational enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you use the music to sort of educate and decolonize the mind.
Right, I use the music, but I'm interested in the inherent properties of sound. What are these things that are inside of the sound? When people break into song, what happens before? So that's more my interest, the things that are kind of, living in the spirit realm that expound and burst into sound. So I'm interested in these things that really don't have a language. So trying to formulate some language for the unspeakable, so to speak. Yeah.
And your choice of music, I mean,
Right.
from uthando umculo ufunda kodwa yingani you are drawn towards the jazz music?
Right. I mean, jazz music is in essence African music. It is a result of the transatlantic slave trade. Slaves that were taken in West Africa and forced into slavery. And jazz came as a way that they were protesting and refusing this suppression. And they were like, man, we're going to continue to sing. And by extension, it became like a kind of collective memory. It carries an African DNA. So when we hear this music, there is something very ancient in it that has been kept inside of that music. Because I think through that slavery, we knew that someday we'll cross over again the Atlantic. So I think I resonate with that because of its yearning for freedom, but also the ability to kind of co-create the world that you want to live in by way of improvisation. So I always feel like, there's something we can always do in the world, and improvisation for me allows that space. So those are my connections to this music.
You've had a very interesting variety of collaborations over the years.
Right.
I mean, from Mrs. Kitty Petla,
Right.
Black Coffee, Unati, Mrs. Thandiswa Mazwai,
Right.
And abo Zwelakhe Dumo sebenzisana nabo
Right.
khona manje.
Yeah.
Abo langibalekela le gama. I'll remember the name.
Right.
But just what do you look for when you collaborate with these dynamic and different musicians
Right.
in your art?
Right. I think a part of me is always like yearning not to know. And like every time I'm around people that know something that I don't know, I get really fascinated. And I think all the people you mention know a lot of things that I don't know. And so I enjoy being in the space and kind of sharing and kind of formulating ideas. And also we're part of the same generation, so there are things that are common as well amongst us. But also, I've collaborated with the elders like Mambusi Mhlongo, Babzim Ngawana, kind of like as a student, so to speak. So collaboration for me is a place for knowledge production.
When I saw you with Ukehla Umbuso Khoza, I was very happy.
Yeah, well,
And I can just imagine the dynamism that comes out of there.
man, we do very similar work in a sense of like preserving indigenous knowledge systems and kind of packaging them in a way that is kind of understood by our generation. So for instance, the issue of Unomkhubulwane is really a mythical story. And how do you explain that to a 10-year-old? And I think this is what fascinates me and Ukhoza, the ways in which indigenous knowledge systems stay relevant on the everyday practice and the everyday knowledge production. So yeah, I mean, we have a video coming out tomorrow of a conversation that we had. He started a podcast. So this is
Finally,
the first. Finally.
We've been waiting for that.
Yeah, so yeah, he's doing a lot of important work around heritage and really preserving our cultures.
His name is Dr. NDUDUZO MAKHATHINI is blessing us today. And here I am giving you guys something amazing from the late great Umama Ubusi Mhlongo, Yapheli Maliami. You've had the pleasure of collaborating no Mama.
Right.
And we'll talk about that on the other side of the song. It's 7 minutes before 8 o'clock today, guys. He will also be blessing us with a performance later. It is Radio 2000. Our music, your memories.
DJ Spoo, Nati and Lelo on the Big Breakfast Show. Monday to Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. Radio 2000. Our music, your memories.
Art form.
Right.
And like they think of jazz like it could never have happened anywhere else except in and I've always differed with that
Right.
it's African. You could never speak about jazz without talking about Africa.
Right. It's African descendants. I think everything that happens in America, by way of capitalism, America wants to own.
They want to own it.
So I think it's a much more bigger problem of capitalism.
Yeah.
And these productions of like third world, and so
Yes.
the first world must always
yes.
own everything. And so, you know, I think even in South Africa it's happening. There's a book called Black Music, White Business that really explicates all of these things. It talks about the emergence of major record companies and how the ownership is really not with the black person.
Yes.
It's always with the white person.
The white person, yes.
So this is the thing. America owns by way of capitalism.
Wow.
Yeah, and they create a confusion about origin, you know. So that we're confused about when they speak about jazz and not speak about the transatlantic slave trade.
Yes.
So already that omission makes us forget that there's an African story underpinning jazz.
I'm going to go Radio 2000.
Yeah, no, sure. I once had a talk with Brazil Mwawana. Man.
Right.
He
was beautiful.
He was beautiful. He was amazing. And then he told me, we were talking about music in South Africa, and like there was proliferation of Western art music, classical music.
Yeah.
But you could go into a country and study African music, but except in South Africa.
Of course.
It was difficult to study music here.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you cannot, people who don't even love you can't teach you about jazz. And he studied with Max Roach.
Right.
And I was like,
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it's fun.
Yapheli Maliami, Mama Busi Mhlongo. Our music, your memories on Radio 2000. Hanging out with Dr. NDUDUZO MAKHATHINI. When you hear this voice, what goes through your mind? Umulalela ugogo. Akusina umama wethu ugogo kithi.
Oh man, ugogo, yeah. I mean, her contributions are just beyond words. I don't think we have words to explain what she does. I mean, she was an initiated Isangoma, so I mean, of course, a lot of what she's doing, she's really channeling. I was fortunate to work and produce her last album called Amakholwa. Amakholwa, yeah. And we spent a lot of time in studio together, and just like the way she thought about like being a medium, it's just something that really inspires me, that I've written about actually. So yeah, man, I mean, she symbolizes many things. And I mean, when we speak about the story of uNomkhubulwane, we're thinking really about the feminine energy, and we're thinking about the mother, we're thinking about water, and Umama Busi Mhlongo symbolizes all of these things,
I was blessed. I was doing the morning show up next door on Ukhozi FM at the time. And I remember we came up with an idea on the show to go sell it to SABC management and the team to do a tribute concert to Umama. Some of you listeners will remember it ended up being a big thing. We got everyone involved. The whole industry got involved. And I'm just so glad that in her passing, there was a bit of contribution that we, the youth of the time, at that time, were able to do something that great. You know,
I remember seeing videos. She was seated down and watching everything. There was deep.
Yeah. Radio 2000, our music, your memories. Just to remind you guys, on Head to Head today, you can still send us your voice notes on which tracks are you voting for. And the Head to Head is South African classic house music tracks, which are Liquid Deep Fairy Tale, going up against Black Motion Rainbow. Difficult one. And then I said, I'll take the Black Motion Rainbow track. I'm a big fan of Black Motion. When we come back, we're going to be talking about his touring. We're going to be talking about his international deal with Blue Note Records and just some of the experiences that he's had traveling Europe, traveling America, and just being acclaimed, internationally acclaimed musician that he is. But at the same time, he is a scholar of music.
Outsurance will go out of their way to try and save you money on.
Do you know, I watched a story of a 17-year-old serial killer from the Cape Flats. A 17-year-old serial killer, yeah. And about 7 or I think 5 of... Sorry.
A word when you are free.
Okay. 5 of... Okay, cool. 5 of idumbu zakhe.
Then the closing report is there already.
He stabbed them. He did not even shoot them, stabbed them.
So it means
Driver or knife.
So it means he wanted to.
Yeah. And multiple rape cases. 17-year-old, bro. Akananhliziyo, my man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bro, I couldn't believe it, eh? The boy has got like over 7 stumbos. I'm like, no, the Cape Flats, my man. We can't have DA, my man, claiming to have run Western Cape well. When those communities still look like that.
Yeah.
Man, have you been to Khayelitsha?
I haven't been. I've heard of Inyanga as well. There's a place called Inyanga.
Khayelitsha is worse, bro. Khayelitsha is like Alex on steroids.
Bro, and Alex is tough.
Yo, bro.
Alex is hectic.
My man. Yo, it hurts, bro. When you're in Khayelitsha, it hurts, and it's dangerous as well.
Yeah, it's dangerous because now I wanna kelelo.
Yeah, yeah.
I want so.
Cape Flats, because even this boy, the serial killer 17-year-old I'm telling you about, but the reason why I'm sad is because he's timer.
Yeah.
He's a jailbird, he's in prison, and he's the head of, I think, I'm 28 or something.
Yeah. Oh, so ish. Yeah. So now if he goes to jail, he's fine.
Yeah, even when they were bopping him, when they were sentencing him, he had smirks on his faces, he was just laughing, no remorse at all. And he killed young people. He didn't kill like old people. He was killing like 18-year-olds, 21-year-olds. He was just killing. And this is just here.
Yes.
Man.
That's so hectic.
The situation as a Cape Flat, if you're a soldier.
Yeah.
And they should have done that a long time ago, bro. Because it's unmanageable.
Yeah, it's ungovernable.
Yeah.
But this is like the production of like apartheid. They knew that this was like...
They knew, ne?
This was what they producing. I mean, what do you expect? You put like a person into utter dysfunctionality, they start thinking, hey, uzopila kanja. And it gets worse and worse and worse.
Then you get into sports.
Just imagine 10 years from now.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It can only get worse.
Yeah.
The context.
Right.
Yeah. Which has been beautiful. But how do you manage the schedule, though?
Man. You ask me this question all the time and I never have an answer.
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. But so all my teaching happens online. because I'm only teaching postgraduate students.
Okay.
So I'm teaching honors, masters, PhDs, people that are already kind of like independent, and most of them hate going to campus anyway. So that works to my advantage because I'm like, yeah, let's meet online.
Yeah.
So I do that. The only time it gets tricky is when I'm in a different time zone, like in the US.
That's what I mean,
or
because
even
even the
in
long
Asia.
flights, right?
The long flights. So it means like abantu babeyolala mina ngivuke ekuseni mhlawumbe ngabo-2 sengifundisa iclass eSouth Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it gets crazy.
And then how often do you teach? In a week?
3 times.
Or 3 times a week?
Yeah.
Consistently every week?
Yeah.
Yo, that has to be fit into your traveling.
Yeah, that has to be in there. That has to be in there because the students can't miss a class.
Yeah, they can't miss a class, eh?
But what I started doing is if I see that it's too tight, I pre-record my classes and I put them on Teams.
Oh, okay.
So they go and put comments and then I come back, I explain. Yeah, but it's not, that system is not, it's not, the university doesn't support it because, you know,
it's
they want, yeah.
And then bese bagcina bakuxosha.
Bazongixosha, yeah. Masebengixosha ngiyavaya, then I go to the next one.
Yeah. Jesus. But it's also, I guess, it's beautiful for the university in a way.
Right.
That we've got a senior lecturer,
right,
who's also a traveling, touring international musician.
Students love that because that's what they want to be.
Yes.
And so now we're moving from being taught by teachers to being taught by mentors.
Mentors.
Yeah, the people we look up to. Everyone wants to have a person they look up to teaching them in class. Like you can't teach us something you're not doing. You know, I think that's the kind of like new direction in scholarship.
Yeah.
People want to be taught by people that are practicing what they're teaching.
Yes. Yeah. So when you're teaching, they're talking about using touring, schedule,
like
road managing.
Proper examples. Last week when I was touring, this happened.
This and that happened.
Yeah. 3 years ago when I collaborated with this artist, it's
Yo, I sing it again, eh?
Right.
Ngibeke omnyama ngibeke lana ukuqala and then bese ngibeka futhi nala. Yeah, asinge. Nduduzo Makhathini, Dr. Nduduzo Makhathini, senzeni na. Senzenina. A track comes to mind.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Right.
Senzenina. Senzenina or Senzeni. What does that mean?
Yeah, so Senzenina, of course, is a question of what have we done. And Senzenina is a statement about the recreation, like Senze, as in create, Nina, mother. So, I mean, it's at the backdrop of like really difficult times. I think it was 2019 when we started like having a lot of these reported gender-based violences. And in those moments, started seeing our daughters, our wives, our mothers, our grandmothers asking this question. It was really kind of sad to hear them saying Senzenina as a question. And I was like, you know, maybe there's an opportunity for men to think about being recreated, umama, ozalile. And I think that really links to notions of unomkhubulwane in many ways, in a sense of rebirth, you know. Like, you know, there's so much going on in the world and like, we don't have a language for rebirth, for starting anew. Like, what is that language? So this song proposes that modality, Uguti. There is an opportunity to kind of start afresh, you know? And so that links to a kind of rebirth, Buela es mama. And that was really the thing that I was grappling with.
Now let's talk about unomkhubulwane.
Right.
The brand new project.
Right.
That's what you've named it. What is unomkhubulwane?
So unomkhubulwane is understood to be the rain goddess. In other cultures, she comes through in different names, Mujaji, you know, different names. based on different cultures. She regulates fertility, and she regulates balance. And of course, her language is water by way of tears, by way of the ocean, by way of the rain. And so I've been kind of like exploring and thinking about all of these signifiers and all of these characteristics and how do they really help us on our everyday. Like, how do we think about inyembezi zikaNomkhubulwane, isililo sikaNomkhubulwane? How does that really help us in thinking about being in the world? And particularly, how does it liberate this idea of this inherent lack in black people? Like, you know, every time, you know, anyone from around the world comes here, they already thinking they bringing some kind of intervention because there is a kind of brokenness with black biography. We're lacking something. Yet Nomkhubulwane is saying there is abundance. So how do black people locate their own portals of abundance? You know, so that was really the core idea.
Omnyama comes from the new album Nomkhubulwane, Dr. NDUDUZO MAKHATHINI. Brand new album.
Khanyisani emhlabeni onzima, khanyisani emhlabeni omaginqiginqi. Siyakhuleka nini, siyakhuleka nakini izindlondlo. Nina